Welcome back to the Accountability Hour, the podcast where we tackle double standards, self-improvement, and the messy realities of relationships. This is Lynn Watchhorn. Common complaints that women have about men. I just want to say I am not attacking men in this episode. I never would. Some of these complaints are valid, while others I'm kind of rolling my eyes at, but let's get into it. Okay, first of all, he doesn't open up. Okay, I kind of get this one. Kind of. She wants, emotional access, but sometimes a guy will react poorly when he does finally open up. But there's so much nuance with this because I've talked to so many men where they have opened up in the relationship and then it's immediately used against them, so they don't do it. Or you haven't been in a relationship long enough where he feels safe to do that. And then also you gotta consider, if you're a woman listening to this, how do you react when he opens up? Do you get mad? Do you get defensive? Sometimes when a man opens up, it can be hard for us to hear. And our first instinct is to push back and get upset. But oftentimes this works against us and makes it a punishment. So he doesn't want to do it ever again. So that's worth considering. Are you doing that? Because if he feels like he's being screwed over when he does it, he's not going to keep doing it. Next, he's emotionally unavailable. A lot of women often say this when he kind of works through things internally rather than externally and he doesn't need to process out loud. I feel like it's very common for us, women, to want to, fix things out loud. We talk to friends, we get people involved, whereas a lot of men, they go inward. And that doesn't mean he's emotionally unavailable per se, it just means he solves problems differently than you. He won't communicate. Usually means, you don't narrate your internal state in real time. I feel like if a lot of men constantly vented or talked about their issues out loud constantly, a lot of women would shut down and get irritated. Because you want him to have that mental capacity for you instead, which is not fair. He doesn't talk about his feelings. A lot of men are trained to act on their feelings, not verbalize them. So if there's an issue and he's feeling stressed or upset, he's more likely to go address the actual issue rather than talking about it because he knows talking about it doesn't really get anything done. He's distant. Sometimes men just need space to recalibrate. That's typical. Another complaint, he doesn't reassure me enough. Okay, do you ask for the reassurance? Because I feel like a lot of men, they don't want to sit there and reassure you 24/7. Now, if you needed the occasional reassurance, great, ask for it. I know a lot of men would be more than happy to give that to you. But at what point does your reassurance request turn into you being emotionally dependent on him? And do you appreciate him sitting there listening to you vent or reassuring you? Because I've seen a lot of women, it's just sort of an expectation. And for a lot of men, it's very exhausting to have to constantly reassure a woman that's insecure about herself. Are you realistically working on yourself so you don't need as much reassurance from him? If the answer is no, then reconsider yourself on that. He's bad at expressing himself. Yeah, expression styles differ. It's not, I don't know. Yeah, actually a lot of these I'm finding are pretty invalid. He's guarded. Okay, fair enough. Some men genuinely are guarded. Some men are genuinely more avoidant. I get that. But there's also situations where he's guarded for a very specific reason. Maybe he had a rough past, and that's something where his walls will slowly come down as you get to know him. You can't expect that overnight. Relationships gradually open. It's not an overnight thing. He avoids labels. Okay, did you discuss that with him? Is that a strict boundary that you have? For some men, labels can feel like obligations before they're ready. And I've noticed a lot of men will tell you up front, it's like, I don't want a relationship. I don't want to get engaged. Okay, great. He said what he wanted. Now what do you want? Is that a deal breaker for you? He seems detached after conflict. For a lot of men, they need to decompress after a conflict, so maybe he's just doing his own thing for a minute. He avoids confrontation. Yeah, a lot of men do. This can sometimes cause problems if he's storing resentment rather than bringing up what bothers him. But, a lot of men want to avoid chaos and drama. So if he doesn't feel like the conflict is the juice isn't worth its squeeze or whatever that quote is, then he won't actually take action and bring it up. He doesn't open up unless I push. Okay, consider why you're having to push him to open up. Because if he's constantly feeling pressure to do things, he won't feel safe. He feels unreachable sometimes. Yeah, men have to compartmentalize in order to function at times. A lot of men are carrying a lot more on their plate than you would ever realize. After reading through this list, I'm realizing a lot of women need to just be a little bit more understanding towards men. Oftentimes in relationships, women expect men to be okay with whatever personality traits she has or whatever she wants in the relationship. Oftentimes, that same grace is not extended to men. It's just like this one-sided double standard that's really freaking annoying. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might benefit from it. And if you'd like more content from me, I have a YouTube and a Patreon.